Man, sitting out here in the country, it's like having a natural aquarium with fish. But instead of listening to the bubbly and watching little fish swim across, you see the trees and the birds. Even though there's some noise, from country folk, but it's just so peaceful. I don't want to miss that. I don't want to give that up. I've been thinking, I said, what in the world am I supposed to be doing? I want to do something. You work for years, and it's like, what I do? I feel like I need to do something. And my wife said she wanted me to do this CDL training, but she said if she passes away next week, she's all worried, so I got to encourage her and, make sure she's okay. And she's been real quiet because she's just nervous to death. She has that anxiety. And she said, all bets are off. You probably won't do anything. So we'll see. Well, I had to do something, keep my mind going. But, you got to follow through with everything. So it's aggravating. If I was working on day shift, I wouldn't be able to follow through anything. You have to work third shift, get up, spend time to do business stuff during the day. And then they just keep flagging things. Like we got State Farm, and they flagged things. I gave them verbal permission at the Kendricks in Augusta, and they said, I never released the car. And we signed the title, and I called them today and said, hey, how's it going? What's the status of the claim? They said, well, you printed your name and signed it on the address line, but it's this tiny. And I wrote about that big. So I wrote maybe 150% of what the line was. And it was or my name or my wife's name. So I could have just wrote one name, but it was hard to get a hold of anybody. And then he'd come back, oh, okay, you're no longer flagged for writing on the address line. South Carolina is not as strict. So we're going to go ahead and process your thing. But nothing is done automatically. You had to follow up with everything, which is so aggravating. Follow up. If you don't follow up, they don't care. They're not going to do it, because if you owe them money, they will follow up with you. The hospital bills, all these calls, they'll get different numbers. You keep blocking them, and they'll keep calling you, wanting that money. But they supposed to give you something? What? Who? They ain't gonna follow up with you. You got to follow up with them. So we switched from Medicaid, absolute total care, and everybody said, don't do it. You're gonna lose all your benefits. And the lady told me finally it messed up, but it wasn't my fault. They did it at the Medicaid office, because when they dropped the MCO, the absolute total care part of Medicaid, they dropped Medicaid also. But she was supposed to be at waivers so she can get more help, because, you get older and they come in the house and help you if everything's set up right. And then you have to fix it again if you need, hospice, and then you have to fix it again if you need, nursing home. So there's different things that one of them pays and one of them doesn't pay and all that. So it's a lot of complicated mumbo jumbo, So we're fixing all that. And they turned it off, but they turned it on. But I called two places we had prescriptions, and one of them we got to go to a different doctor. She had this Libra thing for Libra 3 where she could see on her phone what her sugar was. But she has to go to an endocrinologist, a special diabetic doctor, and all the one in Aiken is very mean, and his bedside manner is not good. I could go with her, but she don't want to do it. He's the only one that can write a prescription with straight Medicaid. Now, with Medicaid Absolute Total Care, you didn't have to have the regular doctor could have done it. So it's a lot of stuff like that. And her nitroglycerin pills, they got those approved. So now I think everything's like $3.30. So everything is starting to go through like it's supposed to. So we should be good, hopefully. We'll find out. She's got surgery next Wednesday, November 1st. Real worried about. So we're going to go down there the night before and get us a room. And I got my little truck. So we're going to have to put everything in the cab of the truck. And hopefully the guy will be able to drive it to the parking. You know, I'm going to have to get everything out, take it to the room somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do that. So we'll have to figure that out. Because she has a little surgery. I don't know when they'll give her a room, so I'm going to have to push this stuff around with me or have it all sitting by me. I don't know what I'm going to do. Because we're going to stay down there. And we had our little van. We had a place to put everything. So then we had to take everything. And if I take my fan that's real loud, I don't know if the hospital will let me have that big old fan in there. She's got a little fan. So I probably won't get any sleep. And I might have to be off next weekend. I'm working this weekend. And then we got to get a car. She's seen a 2010 Toyota Camry with 91,000 miles for about $6,300. Let me know if that's a good deal as of October 26, 2023. And we've seen some other ones all the way cheap as like $4,200 for Nissan Rogue, not the sports one. We've heard sports and some kind of Kia Rios. There's a bunch of them, so there might be problems with those. Or either people just upgrading. But yeah, just kind of wanted to share what's going on today. We went to our little Amish place, and I'll upload that here in a little bit. And got our little food, and it was so nice. There wasn't people coming getting plates to go, so nobody was eating in there with us. And some of the people that are usually in there that fix your drinks, they wasn't there. And every time I start recording, the guy come over there, hey, y'all need anything? And then he wasn't normally the one that does it, but I guess he was just kind of filling in. Food was good. Potatoes were a little, I don't know if they were overcooked or undercooked, but they're kind of hard, so I think they were maybe not cooked this long. So when I heat them up in the microwave, they should be better. So we got a plate down there, and then we got a plate for tomorrow. Then when one of my wife's friends, I sat on her little furniture outside in Bennett, me and my grandson. So me and my son, going to try to fix it. You know, because now she's starting to get all mad and threatening about receipts and all kind of stuff. I don't know what she's talking about, but we're going to try to fix it and make her happy. You know, it's kind of like that neighbor, get off my driveway. You got to keep the peace before people go stupid. So we got to do that. And I was just looking into all kind of things. Just sometime I might watch this video and look back. Pharmaceutical, I think it was like $200 or $300. You get a book, and it's only 160 questions. So you pass this test, but then me having a beard, I don't know if the doctors would want to buy prescriptions from me. Well, I don't know if I know if I want to be a pharmaceutical rep, where I'd push prescriptions at the doctor and say, here, put all this in people. I don't know if I want to do that anyway. And you got to drive around all the time. But you probably get reimbursed for mileage and all that. And it don't look like it'd be hard. Just kind of staying on point, keeping up with your medical terminology. You know, probably had to wear a suit. Some of them say you can wear scrubs, which would be cool. But they definitely wouldn't forget me if I came in with a beard. They'd be like, he's the only one coming in here with a beard. They wouldn't probably buy from me, but they would remember me. Yeah, that big old bearded man. So I don't know. We'll still do this trucking. If my wife says I'll flip out if something happens to her next week, but I said nothing's gonna happen to you. So I've already got all my little study questions. For hazmat, you got to do a special training, and I think Piedmont Tech is $200. You do it online, and once you pass that, and I think it's good for 5 years. I'm learning. And then there's these other questions you got to do at the DMV. So you take your training from the truck driver training, you do your driving, your inspection, all that stuff. Then you get your CDL. Then hopefully somebody hire you like you want. But, Google owns YouTube. So anytime you start looking up stuff and then you start getting all this bad stuff about what these truckers are having to deal with, like the other traffic, the DOT people, whether they get mileage, the county, short miles or long miles. I don't understand all that, except one of them you can lose a lot of money because they go by the county instead of actual where the business is. So some of them you get where you actually drive, and some of them you get, it's like if a bird flew, but you got all these roads you got to go. And then you got the brokers, they're cutting the fees, and you need to make at least $2 a mile or over that in order to make it worth it for gas and everything. They're wanting to pay like $1.25. So, it's just, it's getting hard out here for that kind of work. A lot to keep up with. Your electronic logs, and then they go down, and you got to do paper logs, and then you got to re-enter them, and then they'll be calling you all hours of the night wanting you to do this, and you got to have certain times of sleep. So yeah, it could be more aggravating than actual work, even though you're not at the job, but they talk to you more than you would if you was at a job. As long as you're working, nobody usually messes with you, nobody go, how you doing? Everything all right? But but they don't really intimidate you too much as long as you're working. Now things are slow, they might wonder what's going on, but you out of that truck, they can bug you to death. And then you got to deal with all the people trying to do everything to you or wanting your money, trying to rob you, all kind of stuff. So I don't know. So that's just things I was thinking about. And I was looking at mobility, mobility jobs, and I had a guy in a wheelchair. And I'm not in a wheelchair yet, but I got some mobility issues. And it was talking about a county. So QuickBook Pro Advisors, I believe, they got some free training through Intuit, I believe, and you can get all that. But if you pay money, you can get on the list where other people will hire you. So you got that option, at the CDL. If it didn't work, then you can sell real estate. But all these things, you got to get a license. You got to pay so much to have it, and then you got to make sure where you're at. Like right now, my income is really scrutinized for my wife, but she wasn't hearing him. I can make as much as I wanted or enough to live and not worry about it. But I need insurance probably. Right now I have any insurance. But yeah, just trying to figure out what to do. I've been making YouTube. I'm probably not that entertaining or funny, because I just talk about anything. I talk about what's relevant to me. Because used to, in the olden days, there's my neighbor coming home. But used to, in the old days, YouTube, you could have music playing, and people like the music. But now it's copyrighted, so you can't have the music playing no more. And look how peaceful it is. See? I like just sitting on my porch, man. Just looking at the clouds or the blue sky. I ain't even noticed the trees. So this one right here is it kind of looks like a fall tree where the leaves are turning. And that one over there, I ain't really even paid attention. I can see them when I'm going down the road with the sun shining on them. You can tell the difference in how the trees look. But that's the secret, is follow through and follow up with everything. Like my son, he needs a way to work, and my daughter, they're saying they can't come down here now to pick him up. And I was paying her $15 for 26 miles, and then 26 miles again, so $30 a day to take him back and forth to work. So $60 for the weekend. Well, I'm probably going to have to, he don't have to work Sunday, but we only got one vehicle, and my wife's hit and miss on her driving now. So, it's going to cost like $32 for him to get to work. And then if I come home and she picks him up. But if I got to pick him up, last weekend I only got like 4.5 hours sleep because I couldn't sleep when I tried to sleep. So that's kind of rough. So I told him, I said, you need to start studying for your permit. You know, if he studies for his permit, I let him drive a little bit with me, you know, try to teach him if he's able, but he's very spontaneous. So I was always worried that going down the road, he would hit the gas pedal instead of the brake, or the brake instead of the gas pedal. But it'd be safer if he's in a car than it would be if he was on a moped. He wants to get a moped, and that's a death sentence, in my opinion, because people can't drive. They don't have any patience. But he wants a little car. But I'm going to have to get him where he can drive so we don't have to depend on nobody, because you can't depend on nobody. And now we're so far out in the middle of the woods. Well, not really, but we're 13 miles one way. So that's kind of a long way for his little job. So, you know, he's going to have to get his permit and license, and I'll help him get a car if he does it. If he gets his license and he passes that other training you do, if he passes that, then I'll help him with a car. But we got to get our car, another vehicle, and then I got to figure out where to put him, you know. And the way the world is, everybody's at war right now and things are getting short, so you can't just give up and stop living. But, you know, time, if you believe, time is not on our side, because it's been wrote down in this book called the Bible. You just have to know how to interpret it. But even if you're half wrong, you're kind of half right, because things are getting closer, and one day it will happen. So you got to prepare, especially when food's doubling like last 2 or 3 years all over the world. People's rights are changing. You know, they're wanting to monitor everybody, and they're wanting to, businesses are trying to make people buy stupid stuff like electric vehicles. But, you know, how do you power the power grid? You still use coal or nuclear power to get the power to the grid that charges the electric vehicles. And then once the battery goes bad, you got all that waste. They hadn't recycled them as far as I know. So it's just something like, you got to watch what people are trying to get you to buy. I've been suckered in a couple things. You know, I got suckered into getting this education stuff. I mean, you can't take it from you, but no telling if people are going to let you use it, you know. So now I'm fixing to do truck driving. But that'll be free. It won't cost me probably $300, I guess, with the gas, getting to school and buying a certificate, studying, you know. But that's almost like $4,600 worth of training. And hopefully I can get a job with it. But if not, I'll have some more knowledge in my head that I can relate to, talk about. I love to do YouTube. That'd be fun, just to be able to talk on YouTube all day, drive people crazy. But we'll see. You know, a lot of people have been out of work for a long time. The bad thing is, if you're not working for yourself in business, technology, automation, computer programs, they update so fast that your skills, if you had skills and you're over a year old, you're going to have to know somebody that has a business that uses those skills, or you're going to have to update your skills. And a lot of them have free training right now. So they've even been young people in their teens, or even less than that, under 10 years old, that not many, but that were focused, that designed apps, and they just got all the training online. So it's there if you have time to pursue it. And then they could get a job or doing something using that training. So you got to always keep your skills relevant, and things are changing so fast now that what used to work is different. You know, used to the accounting, you had to have all these people do data entry. Now they can get a computer program, or they can't even long as they don't use personal information, they can send all this stuff over to India or by the internet, and people can enter all the stuff in. So you'd have to have 5 years experience in order to even get a job in accounting, unless you come back and deal with sensitive information or QuickBooks or taxes. You're relevant and doing stuff like that, where you're teaching people how to use something, or, some kind of job where they need you. But all these people have been calling customer service. It seems like they make it so complicated to create jobs. Like, you have the person you call. Well, then they send it somewhere else. And then they send it somewhere else. So you got 5 or 6 people that it takes to answer one problem. So they've created a lot of jobs with this customer service issue. But a lot of these jobs aren't here. Some of them are hiring 60. That looks pretty good, but that's not a lot of money nowadays. Some areas of the country it is. It'd be decent here. But one guy was telling me some rent he knew, it can average $700-800 to $1,200-1,600 in this area. So it's still kind of high for the wages people make, and then they give you more money, less benefits. Where you had to pay, if you had like 2 people, $7,000, maybe $8,000, you had to pay all that out of pocket before your insurance even pays. And you're paying probably $400 a month for your insurance, so you're paying, $13, however much all that is, a lot per year before your insurance even covers one bill. So it, it's rough. And then you got this other stuff that kind of makes you wonder. I heard it on YouTube, and the guy was saying the average American works all their lives, if they live, and they might get $1,400 a month in Social Security. And he said somebody seeks asylum. I guess they got to be approved for this. They don't just let anybody, but maybe right now they are, because they want all these people to vote. But you let all these people in the country, they're getting like $2,500 a month. And I was wondering how long that would last, but it looks like it lasts for about a year. And then they have other things that could last 5 years. They're kind of in a system for 5 years that they can help them get on their feet, become a citizen, and do everything they need to do if they just do it slowly. If they get out here and hustle, they can get there a lot faster than people that are living here. And once you get old, you can't find a job nowhere. And once you get all the people coming in the country working less, you can't find a job anywhere, unless you update your skills, or you're good in sales, or or you had to just take stuff that pays peanuts. So if you want something that pays good, it's tough. It's tough out here. And a lot of people just gonna give up, not even care, because it's like, it don't make any sense. Not unless you're at a high level. And I don't know, $115,000 would be pretty good, but by the time you pay taxes, I don't know if that'd be $80,000 bring home or less. But if you're in a high living, some people make that 2 people. So they're making like 200-something thousand, and they can't make it. And I know people that are making a lot more than me, and they're struggling. I'm like, where's all your money going? And then you think, are they on drugs? Find out they're not on drugs. They just buy the latest and greatest anytime, everything they want. Their check's spent when they get it. And you're thinking, when I get paid, I just buy what I have to, mainly food. I bought these shirts. See, I started this job when I worked at Generac. I started about July 2021. I bought 5 shirts, and I've had to buy some more pants. But that's about it. I've had these 5 shirts for over 2 years. Now, they don't have many holes in them, like a little prick hole or something. The 3 main ones I got, and I've got a couple, like $5 or $3 at Goodwill. But The main shirts I like, I got 2 of them that got stained up. So I use those for the fire watch job because it's real oily and you get the dirt from the hose on you. It's got grease and it won't come out, not without a lot of scrubbing. So I just use those same 2 shirts for that job, but that's the only place I wear them at. So I guess eventually if I got a better job, I'd have to have some more clothes, I guess. But we'll see. Thought about doing DoorDash, but it wouldn't be too good in my little truck. And one person said a young person, they said they made like $21 an hour, but then, after she paid gas, and another guy said he worked all day, only made $100, and he said it wasn't worth it. So you can make money, but is it worth it? The time you do to wear and tear, and you're gonna be working for them, or you're gonna be in a negative. You might have a little bit of money in your pocket, but I guess it's better than being homeless, but it ain't really worth it. And then, all these broker loads and even trying to get a box truck, just the freight so cheap now, you got to get like a contract, like government contract where they pay good money, or a dedicated lane carrier for business that you're the only ones that do all their movement, or you got to work for an hour somewhere where they provide the truck for you, but having all that expense on you. And I know I'm rambling on, just sharing my thoughts. Appreciate y'all listening to me. Just thinking what I want to do, and I had a guy said he'd give me some chickens, but I ain't got nowhere to put them. I don't want to get them and then them die. And chickens, if you raise them, or I guess you feed them and they lay eggs, they're real susceptible to things, and everything likes chicken. About any animal you can think, your own personal dogs, birds, owls, foxes, everything likes chicken. So you got to protect it from all that, any grandkids, and the chickens not get loose when you come out there. I wasn't going to do it, but I was just thinking about it. It's kind of funny. I said, yeah, we had about 6, 7 chickens. I could just tie them all together, have like a little hook or something going around their legs or around their little neck or something, but I wouldn't do it. But I was just thinking about it. And I said, yeah, you could have like 6, 7 chickens, and you have them like maybe 2 feet apart and have them all hooked together, and they would walk through the little woods right there, and they'd be all tangled in the trees, but you'd have to get them out before prey come and got them, A dog come and say all them chickens tied to the tree right there where they got all confused and got all wrapped up and everything. But, as long as all chickens work together, it'd be hard to get them back. Something would get them before you'd probably get them back, or they'd run off. You'd have to have like a rope with a brick on it or something to keep them from running off. But they'd be like free range chickens, at least till you put them back in the pen. And they'd get the little exercise, and it'd be funny if it wasn't cruel. I don't know. Somebody let me know if that's cruel or if that'd be funny, or who knows. I just thought it was a crazy idea. But yeah, just trying to make it, enjoying the country, trying to be encouraging from my wife, and just breathing another day, and seeing all this craziness going on around the world. But yeah, my daughter, she's every little free thing going on right now, she's going to it. And I think the mosquitoes are trying to get me. I had these little dragonflies, and they're supposed to eat the larva, but I don't think they eat the actual mosquito. But a mosquito can go like 2 miles. So, if the dogs got water down there, it got a little stagnant, but I don't think it would. But the neighbors, they got horses and they got horse troughs. So if it got stagnant, that's probably about 2 or 3 tenths of a mile. So it's close enough to get mosquitoes to come get you. So they be smelling say, hey, I got to make some eggs, so give me some protein. Yeah, there's a little plane flying around here now, but it's been quieter. I ain't heard no crazy music playing since my son did that with the whip. Yeah, I think it was just coincidence. But yeah, you hear the cows and airplanes, and mostly it's quiet. The dog's over there chilling out. Something keeps biting me. But yeah, getting ready for my wife's surgery and trying to get ready to go buy some kind of vehicle. My wife said since it was her vehicle, we got to go get her a new one. So I'd rather have a truck, but she said it's my vehicle. I get to choose what I want. So okay, because she'll be driving it, most of the time. So I just wanted to share that. Hope y'all doing okay. One of my long videos. Got all my clothes washed for my son. Today is his clothes day. So he's probably gonna wash 3 loads of clothes. But yeah, thank y'all for watching and hope y'all doing okay. And don't forget, follow up on everything. Write down who you talk to, when you talk to them, because, they're not going to take care of you. You got to take care of yourself. So y'all take care. That's the mist. I don't know what it does, but see how misty it is? What you got, meatloaf with cabbage. This is what you got there, chicken, green beans, potatoes, onion bread. I'm going to give her my onion bread. I got macaroni and fried chicken, potatoes.
How are you?
Good. What you drink?
On a casserole.
Oh,
Hey, how you doing today? We're eating here. Now this food's good to make your beard grow. So if you don't want to grow a beard, you don't need to eat here. There you go.
I'll break the camera.
Yeah, look at that chocolate cake. It looked good, but I'd rather have me a peanut butter ice cream. It's kind of cool. Got people out there enjoying the weather outside. They got me enjoying the weather on the inside. You got to pay attention because they got their fall stuff up now. See, they got the pumpkin spooky picture and some fall stuff. So every time you come down here, they got different seasonal stuff that pops up, which is cool. So you never know what you're gonna see.